Jai Shri Guru. Dear viewers, I am heartily welcome to you to ACES channel, brought to you by our principal, Mr. Nephron. A welcome to all. Well, how is everyone doing? How does going on in science? Well, I'm Ayesha, your science teacher. Today, I'm here with a new lesson for you. This video is pretty interesting. While learning this video, you will really enjoy it. In this lesson, today we are going to look at the different mechanisms. The first mechanism I have for you is respiratory system. When you breathe, the air moves into your lungs and the muscles called the diaphragm contracts and causes the chest cavity to expand. Air, when exhales, the muscles relax and the lung tissue passively returns to their original size. This is called respiration. During respiration, oxygen in the air passes through the nose, enters into your pharynx and throat, and then to your tracheae, called windpipe. Your tracheae divides to become the left and the right bronchi. Inside your lungs, the main bronchi divided rapidly called bronchioles. Oxygen in your alveoli is absorbed by blood vessels called capillaries. At the same time, carbon dioxide must be removed, passes into the alveoli and back all to their ways. It provides the surface to exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The oxygen in the red blood cells is then transported to all the cells of the body. The next mechanism in our body is double circulation. Human heart is double circulated, which means that blood passes through the heart 2 times to supply once to the whole body. It involves 2 circulation: pulmonary circulation, systemic circulation. In pulmonary circulation, right upper atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the whole body, which is pumped into right ventricle, and it sends the blood to the lungs for oxygenation via pulmonary artery. In systemic circulation, after oxygenation, blood travels through pulmonary veins. It receives in the left atrium, which pumped into the left ventricle. Then it is passed into aorta, which carries oxygenated blood to the different parts of the body. This is how the double circulation takes place in the human body. Arteries get divided into a very narrow blood capillaries where exchange of the substances takes place. Capillaries forms a web-like structure to reach a maximum cells. Capillaries joins to form veins. I hope it's clear. Kidney, structure of nephron and its function. In our kidney, millions of nephrons are present. These nephrons helps in excretion of waste from kidney by a different process. So, due to this, we called nephron as a functional unit of a kidney. Structure of nephron. The two arteries, as you can see in the picture, first is afferent arteriole and another one is efferent arteriole. Under this, you can see a glomerulus. It is a thread-like structure. After this, a cup-like structure called Bowman's capsule. After Bowman's capsule, the proximal tubules can be seen. And then, we can see a long loop-like structure called loop of Henle. One more tube, that is distal tubule. The last one is collecting duct. What is the function of nephron then? Here we go. The impure blood from the afferent arteriole, which comes in a glomerulus with a high speed, because of this impure blood get filtrated. The impure substances from the impure blood passes the walls of the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. The substances which passes wall of the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule are called filtrate. Filtrate composed of glucose, salts, urea, vitamins and excess of water. When filtrate goes to the distal tubule, important substances from the filtrate like glucose, vitamins and some salt get reabsorbed with the blood through osmosis. Key points are available here. If you want, take screenshot and note it down to your learning resource. Digestion in human beings. Human beings take food from mouth and digest it in specific organ for digestion. The undigested food is get defecated. The food we take that passes from specific canal which begins with the mucal cavity and ends with the anus. The parts of the alimentary canal, buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, large intestine, small intestine, rectum and anus. Action of saliva on food. During chewing, food mixed with saliva. Saliva is secreted from salivary gland located at the lower jaw between tongue and teeth. Saliva converts starch in the food into sugar and also softens the food. Esophagus. In esophagus, the solid food from the mouth passes through esophagus. The epiglottis, which is the flap-like structure behind the tongue, directs the food into the esophagus. Stomach. Stomach, it is a bag-like structure with a thick wall. It is in the shape of flattened part. The food that enters the stomach, it is mixed with the mucus, HCl and digestive juices secreted at the inner lining of the stomach. Small intestine. It is highly coiled structure and it's about 7.5 meter long. As soon as food enters into the small intestine, the digestive juices and pancreas mixed into it. Liver. Liver is the largest gland in the human body. It secretes bile juice which breaks down fats, bile stored in a gallbladder between meals. Pancreas. It is a leaf-shaped gland located just below the stomach. It secretes pancreatic juice which breaks down carbohydrates, proteins and fats. After this, The partially digested food reaches the lower part of the small intestine. The carbohydrates in the food that breaks down into a sugar like glucose, fat into fatty acids, and glycerol and proteins into amino acids. The food consumed is digested and is now ready to absorb in the blood. Absorption of food in the small intestine. The inner wall of the small intestine that has finger-like projection called villi, which have a network of thin blood vessels close to the surface, and it absorbs the digested food materials. The absorbed food is transported the different parts of the body through the blood streams to the different organs. The undigested and unabsorbed food enters the large intestine. The large intestine wider than the small intestine. Once it enters, it absorbs water and some salts and passes the remaining things into the rectum. It remains as semi-solid feces. The fecal matter remains from the anus. This is called egestion. So far, I explained you about the different mechanisms in our body. I hope this video will be helpful to you. Upcoming videos reach you shortly. Thank you very much.